What is good, internet? It is Spirit of Paradox here, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing the 5th and final issue of Ultimate Origins. So if you haven't got caught up, I have got a link in the description box below and in the pinned comment below for the playlist for Ultimate Origins. So you don't feel like you have to miss out on anything, I've got you covered. If you are fans of the Ultimate Universe, this is the channel you want to be on. If you like things about the Ultimate Universe, we are going to be doing lots of content as a lead up to the upcoming event of Ultimate Origins this June 21st. I'm going to be covering the channel about the Ultimate Universe and Ultimate Invasion this summer, so stay tuned for that, and there's going to be plenty more coming down the line. And right before we start as well, I just want to say thank you to all of the support I have been getting on the channel. We are officially over 100 subscribers, and my last video, the return of Ultimate Spider-Man, is my biggest video on the channel as well. I can't thank you enough. I am truly appreciating all of the support, and I am humbled by all of it. Thank you very much for all of your support, and now let's start Ultimate Origins. We continue with the story of the Fantastic Four in modern day, and they are still trying to figure out what these watchers are that are popping up all over the world. We do know the reason why they are there. They are here to simply watch the devastation that is about to occur in the upcoming story of Ultimatum. The Watcher speaks through Susan and says, "My name is Uatu, and I am a Watcher." So this is the Ultimate Universe variant of Uatu the Watcher, and I have got to admit this is pretty disappointing. Reed would ask the question, how long have you been watching us? For many years. Why? That is our species' design. Why are you making yourselves known to us now? Why here? We have made ourselves known to you before. You seem to have lacked the capacity to understand our true meaning. Many of us have been destroyed by your species, but we understand the concept of fear. We are not offended. This is our design. This place represents everything we have observed, and it's time for you to recover this history. You spoke of a devastation. Yes, that is coming to us, to Earth? Yes, in what form? We cannot say. Cannot or will not. We would tell you if we knew, the Watcher says through Susan. Then how do you know it's coming? We have observed many critical moments in your recent history. Moments of whose true meanings are about to converge with another, or converge I should say. What moments? Reed says. In the next page we see a massive picture with loads of characters from the Ultimate Universe. We see Ultimate Spider-Man, the Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Doctor Doom, even Ultimate Deadpool, and many other characters. And the Watcher continues to speak through Susan and says this: "The birth of heroes, the birth of a new species. Your species is just taking the responsibilities the science it has discovered. All of these things plus many more. Your wars, your passions, your plagues, your emotions, understanding, misunderstanding. We have observed it all, from afar and up close. We have witnessed this from not only your world, but from countless other worlds of similar design and model. And we know now that your devastation is coming." "So you're guessing, you don't know for sure," Johnny would say. "It is our design to know. Johnny, please stop arguing with the advanced alien life form. You're embarrassing me." "Yeah, okay. Uatu, what will you do with this information?" "Yeah, What, you're just gonna sit around and watch us destroy ourselves? No. We will now pick a herald to help you with your New World Order. A herald? A herald of what? One who harnessed the power needed for such a task. Who will this herald be? And then we see the eye glow red. We will choose now, the Watcher says. In the next page, we jump back in time and we go to Weapon X, Alberta, Canada, years ago. And someone says Alpha Team positions. Someone else says first positions clear. We see a man who looks awfully like Wolverine, but we see soldiers in the background talking to one another, hiding behind some trees. And one of them says, "Okay kids, this is it. This is Weapon X. Assassin training camp and all around illegal bit of Canadian business. Weapons up and ready for a firefight." The intel on this joint is that these are the nastiest of the nasty. So this is a shoot first situation. Then we find out it's actually Ultimate Dum Dum Dugan and Nick Fury. So yes, the Howling Commandos is a thing in the Ultimate Universe as well, and Dum Dum Dugan does appear multiple times, even in the future times, past Ultimatum we see him. So yeah, it's really good to see Dum Dum Dugan. And he says, "Canadians, Fury? Really? Kicking a Canadian in the tush doesn't seem all that professional." "Well, Dugan, I'm sure you'll get over it." And then they basically blast the door in and get inside the facility. After Fury and his team break into the facility, they find out what is really going on in there. They find out this place is where they are doing illegal experiments, torture, and locking people up in cages, and I believe this is all to find out what the effects of the mutant gene would do to these people. One of the scientists there would say, "What is the meaning of this?" And Dugan would be on like, "This isn't a training camp." And Fury would look very surprised and shocked and say, "The hell?" The scientist would shout again, "Who the hell are you?" And then Nick Fury would just come in and smack the shit out of this guy with his gun and say, "Nick Fury, Director of S.H.I.E.L.D., you monsters are under arrest, motherfucker." The scientist would say, "Really? Under what authority?" "Mine. You get on the ground, you put your hands on your heads." The scientist would say after, "Enjoy your moment, soldier." Fury grabs one of the scientists and asks who the hell is he supposed to be. She reveals his name and says, "Malcolm Colcord, Dr. Malcolm Colcord." One of the guys in the background says, "Whoa, yo Fury, what do we have with these things? Is it human?" And then Dr. Malcolm would say, "I wouldn't touch that." He claims he'll kill all of you as soon as he looks at you. You have no right. We're scientists, and you made them this way? You did this? Dr. Malcolm reveals, "We created new life. What have you done? I'm going to enjoy watching you try to figure out what has happened to your career, and I am embraced by your government science community." Fury would call him deluded, and then the scientist would go on, "I helped create a new species." And then Fury would look at him and ask, "New species of what?" This is the big revelation of the entire story. Dr. Malcolm would say, "Homo superior, mutants, we created them. Right here, we did it. It's all here. And when I show the community what we've done and what we're on the cusp of discovering now, if you think they're going to toss me in prison, you don't know your history, my friend." After the shocking revelation, Fury goes silent for a moment and looks around the room and then makes a decision on what he wants to do. He asks Dr. Malcolm, "Man-created mutants?" And then Malcolm would respond to him with another question, "And what have you done?" And this is when Fury snaps and he turns round and shoots Dr. Malcolm in the head. The scientists are shocked about the death of Dr. Malcolm and ask, "What did you do?" and would shout no. Fury would then say, "Burn it, everything and everyone." "You sure?" from Dugan. Fury would also add on and say, "If the world ever find out what went on in this place, if mutants ever find out, if the world ever finds out that man invented mutants, the world will burn." One of the soldiers would say, "You heard the man, go black, clean it, full sweep," and then they basically lay waste to all of the scientists in the facility. Fury comes up to one of the people who was experimented on and is a mutant, and he would ask him, "What is your name, son?" So this is Ultimate T'Challa, aka Black Panther. So let me talk about his history here. He grew up in Wakanda with his family, his father T'Chaka and his older brother M'Bakum. M'Bakum was supposed to go for the trial to be the next Black Panther, but T'Challa wanted to get the throne before his older brother. So he went under the trial to go and hunt and defeat a Black Panther in combat and failed really badly. His throat got ripped out and was severely damaged from the battle, and he went under lots of surgery that even the Wakandans couldn't do. So his family, or his father I should say, sent him to the Weapon X facility to get him healed up, and that's where you basically see him here. He would get saved by Fury and would later join the Ultimates for a very brief moment of time, but I now believe he eventually went home down the line. I think he went back to Wakanda eventually. But in this universe he is unable to speak, he is a mutant, and he has retractable claws from his knuckles, very similar to Wolverine. Fury and the rest of his team set the facility on fire and it explodes. They walk away from the fire with T'Challa in Fury's hands, saying, "You're coming with me now." So for all of these years, even in the early years of the Ultimate Universe, such as Ultimate Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and the Ultimates, Fury always knew where T'Challa was and kept him in the United States for a long time, and then eventually he would join the Ultimates and then want to go home. But this is the last that we see of Ultimate Nick Fury in Ultimate Origins. In the next page we go to the Savage Land and we see Charles being impaled through the spine with a spear, and we see Eric talking to him through his thoughts, saying, "I love you, Charles." This is Magneto talking to Charles via his thoughts, and this is what he has to say. "I am your friend and your brother, and you are the greatest mutant I have ever met. The greatest. Your teachings opened my eyes, and none of what I have accomplished wouldn't have been done without your vision. We're at war with the humans. I take no joy in that. I take no pleasure in it. But understand, we were put in a war the day you were born, and they are the ones who put you there, not me. So you either choose to win this war and live free, or you can choose to let them enslave you, torture you, kill you." Charles would respond, "Education? You thought the answer was education? Did you use education to defy me? Did you use education to challenge me? I see, Charles. I was willing to wait as long as it took. I was willing to wait for you to gain the life experience of their hatred and racism. I was willing to wait for you to see the way I do. But the way we all do, and on your own. But instead I get Charles the hypocrite, using his powers to get inside my head, attacking me in my own home. And what would you have done next? You'll have sent them here, the humans, and we'd kill them. All you would have done is give them a reason to come and round the mutants up. You'd plant another seed of hate and you'll see exactly how they would react. And you'll see exactly, no matter what your feelings on the subject are, you'll see that I'm right. And Charles is listening to all of this via his thoughts, and he starts crying because he finally figures out his friend was basically a madman. And yeah, like I said earlier, this is when Charles loses the ability to walk, and this is where they become enemies. Magneto continues and said that humans and mutants cannot live together in peace. God has selected the mutant as the dominant species on the planet. God did this. It is His will, and who are you to defy it? Then Magneto howls in an empty castle. God created me, and His will be done, no matter what the cost. And this is the conclusion to the mutant story in Ultimate Origins. We go back to modern day with the Watcher and the Fantastic Four, and then we see the eye glow. Johnny's asking, what's happening now? Reed responds, I don't know. Ben Grimm would say, I hate when you don't know. And then the Watcher speaks through Susan and says, the Herald has been chosen. Johnny asks, is it me? Reed asks, who is it? And then we see the eye glow and get smaller. And then it seems to let Susan go. And then Reed would ask her, are you okay? I think so. And then Ben would knock on it and ask, hello, is this thing on? Free of the Watcher's control, Susan would ask, what happened? Johnny responded with, they picked a Herald. One of us? This is Danvers. Yeah, what? Okay, the other Watchers just up and disappeared. Yeah, so did ours. So, who is it? Who'd they pick? And the person is Rick Jones. And that's how it pretty much ends. It ends with him being chosen to be the Herald of the Watchers. So, yes, I know this is a direct prequel to the controversial story called Ultimatum. This is what loads of people are referring to when they talk about their disdain for the Ultimate Universe. That is the story everyone talks about. So if you guys didn't know, that is the story. I don't plan on covering it anytime soon. I would literally just make videos complaining, and I really don't want to do that. So, not going to cover those stories. But I do want to say again, thank you so much for all of your support, especially with my last Ultimate Spider-Man video. I've managed to make 114 subscribers as of looking right now. I just want to say thank you so much, and I'm so glad to see that we have fans of the Ultimate Universe here. So let me go into a little bit more detail. So we're going to be putting Ultimate Universe content on the channel in general, but we're also doing it as a lead up to the upcoming story Ultimate Invasion that is coming June 21st. I'm going to be covering that story issue by issue, however it releases, I'm going to be covering it, and I'm going to be getting into detail about all of that. So as of right now, we are covering the Ultimates and Ultimate Spider-Man, and I'm going to try putting a little event story. So I'm going to put in either Ultimate Human or Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk. I love those two stories, and I would really like to put them on the channel. So I'm going to choose either one of those later down the line. But thank you very much for all of your support, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.